Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. I'm going to be making a box today. It's a cute little box. This is one I made last summer for a blog hop, but I never did do a video. So the theme of the blog hop was a 3D, I think. So I made this so that it would fit some tea lights and some little sweeties. Those of you who are in the UK will recognise these Palmer violets. You can't get them here in the States, but I have got some other sweeties that we are going to use. And I thought that I would do this as a Valentine theme, since we are about a month out from Valentine as I prepare this video. So my starting point is my paper, and I am going to be using this paper pack. It's called Country Floral Lane, and it's got some really pretty papers. Some have got hearts on them, some are just floral, and then on the back we've got some sort of all over colour that we can, I like that stripy one. So that's my starting point. And as to my colours, I use the back of the paper, and it tells me exactly the colours that are used in this paper, and so I've chosen a couple of from those. Now I'm using products from the new mini catalogue. It runs from January to the end of April this year, and I'm going to be using this bundle, the Country Bouquet. I'm going to use the ribbon, and this is the paper from that there. And you can see that it's the bundle has got a punch as well as the stamp set, and those are the pretty images that we have to play with today. Right, so I have my supplies, and I decided that I would go with this particular paper, and I picked out Sweet Sorbet, which is the flowers, and then Mint Macaron, which is in the little leaves. And I've done a little prep ahead of time, and we'll make a start on constructing the box. So I have a piece of cardstock here. This is 6 7/8 this a ways, and 7 1/2 that a ways. And I've scored it at 7/8 all the way round, and then I've scored it at 1 7/8. And this is going to give me a box that has got like a double edge, and so it'd be quite sturdy. Now I need to cut some pieces out, so I'm going to do my normal thing of marking the pieces that I want to remove. So basically I'm removing the 3 corners from each side. Just going to put my glasses on. So I'm going to cut up on this score line here to the first score line on the 7/8 line, and then I'm going to cut along the score line there, and what is the 1 7/8 score line there. So that gives me those pieces, and then I am going to just cut up there to make my tab. Now I'm going to just take off a little corner, a little wedge off of each side, so that it makes it fit in the box nicely. And I'm going to do the same here. this is the bit that's going to go inside to reinforce the box. So we've got a shape like that. So to make things go quicker, I start by cutting my little wedge there to cut those out, and then I cut my wedge there to cut that out, and then down there to make my tab, and there. So that's 2 out of the 3 done. So again, I take my wedge there, and it just saves an extra cut is all. And then that piece is gone as well. And I cut just to the left of my score line, and then when I come to take the little wedge out, it actually cuts off the score, so you haven't got the score line showing when you finish your box. And then down here. So you want to make sure you've got some nice sharp paper snips when you're doing this, so that you get good lines. All right, so that's that bit. So let's get rid of my bits. So I'm not fighting those when I come to use adhesive. And now we're going to pop in our score lines. So you've probably heard me say time and time again that good folds are the secret to a successful box. So that's why I'm using my bone folder to give me some really nice firm score lines. Like that. And then my last side is here. So that's all my pieces. So basically the box is now going to go like this, and then these bits will fold in a moment. Now I'm going to use my liquid adhesive this time. You can use double-sided tape. You've probably seen me use make boxes, and I have used the double-sided tape, but I thought I would ring the changes a little bit and use liquid adhesive this time. So I'm just going to fold that down and put a little clip on it just to hold it in place while it sort of sets. So I'm just lining this cat edge up with this fold. There, give it a little squeeze, and then get my little clip. These are just some little pegs or clothespins, as they call them here in the States. And I'm just going to have to take that one off a second. And I'm just, as I say, using them to just hold that in place while the adhesive dries. And then this is my final piece here. Now I wouldn't recommend that you use Stampin' Seal or a tape runner unless you're using the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is the stronger glue, or you've got a tape runner that is sort of extra sticky adhesive, because with a box you need to have some something that's strong enough to take the punishment or the taking off and on of the lid. So that's our box, our base. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Now my next piece is my lid, and this is 5 3/8 by 4 3/4, and I can hear you groaning when I talk about 5/8, but you've heard me speak about the paper trimmer that has got the 8ths here, and it's also got 16ths, so you can do some really accurate cutting with the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. Now I've scored it all the way around at 3/4, and I've already gone ahead and cut out my tabs. Now this time the box lid doesn't have a double wall, it's just a single wall lid, so that's why there's only one set of score lines. And I'm going to make a couple of little finger notches. This is just an old little circular punch that I have in my stash. It's long since retired, but it still has a place in my heart. So there's my finger ties. So once again, we're just going to go round and put in the score lines. There. And again, I'm going to use my liquid adhesive to just put my tabs. And again, I am just lining up the cut edge. I'll show you with the next one a little clearer. So as my adhesive, I'm lining up my cut edge here with my fold on the tab and just giving it a good old squeeze. And now the idea for using these little peggy things was one that my good friend Ellie in the UK gave me. I used to use paper clips, which was a bit of a fiddly. These little pegs, they really work. It's really smashing. There we go. So there's my lid. I'm going to set to dry for a few moments. I'm going to go back to my box bottom now, my base, whichever way you'd like to call it. And we're going to now stick this reinforcing piece down as well. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive again, and I'm going to just run some adhesive near the edge, and I'm going to fold that in, and I'm going to give it a really good press down with my bone folder. And I just had a thought that I probably have done myself a bit of a disservice here, because I wanted to put a liner in the bottom of my box and I've already stuck it down. Not that it's going to make it impossible, but it's going to make it a little bit fiddly. Right, so I'm going to use the same piece of paper. I need to make sure I use the right one. I'm going to use the same style of paper, and I'm just going to pop it inside. Oh, I think I'm in a good place. I can do that. So again, a little bit of adhesive on the back. I just think it kind of gives it a nice look when you open up the box and you've got nice pretty paper inside. Now I cut this piece of paper here, 3 3/4 by 3 1/8, and just use that to smooth that in a little bit. Now I keep on giving you measurements, and I'm hoping that you're not desperately trying to write them down, because if you look below this video, you'll see a link to my blog. And if you click on that, it will take you to this post. It's not going to take you to sort of a general page where you've got to hunt around for the project. It will take you to this post, and I will put all the measurements on there for you, as well as a link to my online store so that you can purchase the goodies to make one of these yourselves. So there's our bottom like that, and I'm just going to put some clips on here just to hold it in place just for a few more minutes, so that it doesn't travel. And come unstuck. So there's the bottom of our box, and we've got the top of our box. So we'll focus a little bit now on some decoration. So because my box lid is sweet sorbet, I thought I would use the mint macaron on the top, and then I'm going to put a piece of the decorative paper on top of that. Again, I'm going to go with my liquid adhesive, but you can use double-sided tape, or you could use your Stampin' Seal or tape runner, whatever you prefer for your adhesive. And so we're going to get that laid down. Now this has got a very, very fine margin. I think it's like an 1/8 all the way round, sorry, a 1/16 all the way round. So I cut it an 1/8 bigger than the box. So this is going to go like that on there. Now we've got some really pretty ribbons. This is a combo. I'm not going to use this one here, but I am going to use this pretty red one, and I'm going to I think I'm going to put it at an angle. So on my original one I just had it going across like that, but this one I'm going to go a little bit off the model, and I'm going to put this at an angle. And if you look carefully at this paper, you'll see it's kind of got some cross hatching. And so if I line this up with that, I don't want it going corner to corner. I want it kind of like this. All right. We're going to start with a sticky glue dot. Oh, I need to change out my tool. That's my ball tool, scoring tool. I'm going to get my little pointy tool in there now. If you don't have one of these take your pick tools, you need to make an investment, because they are really, really useful. So again, I'm going to find that line and just pop it down and pop that there. And then I'm going to bring my tape around, my ribbon around like that, and I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of sticky tape. Now this is tape that you would use to wrap up gifts. It does the job really, really well. And so I'm just going to hold that in place like that and use my bone folder to just smoosh that adhesive down so that it doesn't lift. And you can see it's kind of poking out a little bit, so I'm just going to go and snip that off there. so that it doesn't show anymore. Just need a little bit of that, and we'll just double check at the front. Yes, it's not showing, so I'm happy with that. So I'll get rid of that piece of ribbon. And this eventually is going to go on my box like this. And I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. Now I'm going to use a few. I'm going to pop on the corner over the ribbon just to make sure that it's even more doubly held down. And I'm going to put a couple in the middle like that. And I'm going to put a couple either side because I want this to be thoroughly supported on the top of my box. All right, so there's my next piece. So now we need some decorative pieces on our box, and we need some greeting. So here comes the stamp set. So this has got some lovely images and some lovely words. So I think I'm going to put in here, I'm going to use these hearts, and I think I'm going to use, I just wanted to say, but I wanted to use this punch. So let's look to see if that will fit in. I just want to say, let's see, where is it? There it is. There's no use using it if I can't get it in my punch. Oh, it's a weeny bit on the, well, maybe I could use that bit. Nope. Well, that's a disappointment. And I really did want to use that one. Okay, change of plan. I'm going to use it. There's no two ways about it. I am going to use it. So I'm going to lay it on my block like that. I've already got my other pieces set up, and I did have some scraps of card that I was going to use, and they disappeared. No, maybe I, oh, there they are, next to my ink pad, just where, so you'd know. Now my punch. Now I did do a video the other day where I explained about making sure that you get you do your stamping to line up with your punch. And so when you punch this out, your card is going to go in at that end. And so you need to punch it so that the little heart is toward this part. So I'm going to stamp it like this. And while I'm here, I'm going to use this open heart as well. And I'm also going to put my greeting on this strip of card here. Right, so that's that bit. I'll just get these out of the way. Clear me some space. And there's my punch. So I'm just going to line those up. So this is, I'm using the Sweet Sorbet ink to go with my box. So there's my pieces there. Now this punch will also do some leaves, and I found that if you stamp your leaves on a strip of paper, they come, both of them come two on, it comes, they're joined and they are spaced exactly right to fit in the punch. I'm going to pop that there and let that just set for a minute, and I'm going to use, there's some two sweet little open hearts there. I'm going to pop those in there just to give it a little bit more interest. And then I can pop my leaves in like this. And punch. And that gives me my decorative pieces. And now I'm left with this, which, as I say, I wanted to put on a punch out with that oval punch, but that's not going to work. So let's see if I can just trim this down a tiny bit and use it that way. That's going to work, I think. And I just want to take a little bit off the end so that it's about even with what we've got down there. All right, so now we have got our pieces, and maybe I'm going to pop my heart. I'm going to pop it like that, I think. And I'm going to, maybe I'll bring my heart down there. And then I've got my little leaves, which I did in the mint macaron. I think I can do that. Unless I bring that down. No, I think I like my first way. Right, I'm going to use liquid to stick this piece down. And just have it like that. And then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals over for this piece. And I think I'm just going to go like that, just so those other little hearts are peeking out. And then I'm going to use some liquid to put my little leaves down. And just have them peeking out from underneath the big heart there. And then we'll put some little dimensionals onto my greeting. Oh, come on. It's stuck to my nail now. And so maybe I'll just pop it like that there and pop my little heart behind. And then this is great. These mini dimensionals are great for when you've got little bits that you want to put on. So we're just going to do that. So I think I'm liking it so far. Let's see what it looks like on top of the box. Okay. Well, it's going to need some bling, and we've got some pearls. I'm going to get my pearls out. I need to just put a few. Pop one on this heart. And one there. And then I think we're going to put one here as well. And I'm going to take my piece of ribbon here, and I'm going to put a faux knot. So all I'm doing is sliding it underneath the ribbon that's already set down, and I'm going to bring it and just tie a simple knot, and it makes it look as though you've put the ribbon all the way around the piece of card, when in fact you didn't do that at all. Oh, I think that finishes it off really, really nicely. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so now comes the moment of truth to see if both bits of box actually fit together. Now, if I did it right, it should. So let's just line everything up. Yay! Way good. I'm really pleased about that as well. So let's take the backing off of my sticky pads here. That's basically all dimensionals are. They're just little bits of foam that are sticky on both sides, and it just helps lift things up and just gives them exactly what they're called, a bit of extra dimension. Now, stuff to fill. So I'm going to pinch a couple of these candles out of here that I had in my other box. And then I got some heart-shaped Dove chocolates. Don't know how many it'll take. And then I also got some Hershey's Kisses. So let's see, I think there's some silver ones in there. So we can put some heart. So what's better than chocolate with some nice candles? So I can probably pop another one in there, and I can put one in here. Anyway, you get the idea. I think they're going to be tall, the right size. So we can probably lay a couple down here. Let's put a silver one in. I think that's enough. Just depends on how much you love someone. Now, the thing that says here is I just wanted to say, and having used the little L word there, that here, like that, there's a tiny stamp that says I love you. So let's just pop that on a block and take my piece of card that I had earlier, and this time I'm going to do it in the green, the mint macaron. Right, let's get that. I think I did quite a good job with that. if I trim it down, this time I'm not going to get my trimmer out. I'm just going to eyeball it like that. And like that. And clear my bits away. And then I think I'm just going to use a glue dot to stick it onto I'm just going to pop it onto the candle there. Oh, FYI, it won't stick to candles. So, you know, there's too many kisses and not enough doves. So I wonder, should I put them like this? A little bit of a design change. Oh, I think that would be better, don't you? To put a few more doves in. Well, yeah, a couple more doves in. I think that's better. Anyway, I could fiddle with that forever, couldn't I? And so I am just going to swap these over, and I'm going to pop it there so that when you take the box lid off, I just wanted to say, I love you. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video to make this little Valentine treat. I certainly enjoyed working along with it. As I say, I had the box, but I needed to work through the decoration with you on the video, so you can sort of see how the thought processes go. Well, if you've enjoyed the video, perhaps you'll go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so, and hit that little bell so you get notification every time I post a video. And if you've any comments, I'd really love to read them. Well, thank you for your time today. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.